Hey guys, it's Julia. Today's video is a very, very special one. Not only have I been really excited about this concept in general, I thought of it a couple months ago because I've noticed myself using the same term in a bunch of different videos last year, which was sneak attack favorite. And was kind of a sneak attack favorite for me. This was also kind of a sneak attack favorite for me. Like, we get it, Julia. We get it. Basically, there are certain items in my makeup collection where I got them and I wasn't, like, super excited about them, which sounds weird, but, like, they're products I didn't expect myself to be loving as much as I currently do now. And somewhere along the way of using them, I discovered, like, wow, this shit slaps. So today's video is dedicated to those products where I didn't really expect to love them as much as I do now at first, but they have something special about them that I really wasn't expecting, and they became unexpected favorites. So I am very excited about today's concept, but I am even more so excited about the fact that today's video is my first ever collab, and it's with one of my great friends, Abby Williamson. Abby is actually the first of my YouTube friends I started watching. I think I found her channel about a year and a half ago, and I've been watching pretty much every single video since. I just love the way she talks about everything, whether it's music or makeup. She just has a personality that really clicks with me, a sense of humor that really clicks with me. And this year I decided I wanted to get more into doing collabs with my friends here on YouTube, so it seemed fitting that the first person I would do a collab with ever on my channel is the first of my friends I started watching. I also feel like Abby and I share a lot of the same makeup taste, like we like a lot of the same things. We're both Gemini and subculture stans. I honestly cannot say enough good things about Abby. If you watch me, you probably already watch her because Abby just has an amazing channel very focused on anti-consumerism and just really cultivates this awesome layer of discussion on her channel. So after you watch my video, go and watch Abby's because we're both going to be talking about our unexpected favorites. Full details of this look should already be on Instagram. I think I've rambled enough. I'm just very excited about this video, if you can't tell already. So yeah, let's just get into it. I think we all know by now that I've started a cult that worships the ColourPop Ritz Super Shock Shadow. This is my favorite Super Shock Shadow by far. And I actually went through a phase where I didn't like ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. I think I was just buying the wrong shades at first and I wasn't using them, and I was like, wow, maybe I hate the entire line.
Ah, silly bitch.
But I've since started dabbling into them again, and I love the Super Shocks because you have this really amazing formula and texture, but they have a lot of really unique shades as well. So Ritz is obviously my favorite, but this is a close second, and I did not expect to like this one as much as I do. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Mighty Morphin from the Butterfly collection. It is not a shade I probably would have picked up on my own. I was sent the Butterfly collection in PR. The Super Shock Shadow I almost decluttered and gave to somebody else because I was like, it's such a basic shade, but it's kind of like a warmer version of Ritz. Ritz is a clear base with kind of like silver glass looking glitter running throughout, so it just looks like a wet sheen on the eyes. This has a little bit more of like a champagne, a little bit of a pink shift as well. It is so pretty. I'll try to flash a look on screen if I can find one. But again, because of that clear base, it is super universally flattering. It's just sparkly, literal perfection and goodness. I'm not saying that you need both, but I do like having them both. This product was the only thing that I included in my best of 2019 video that I hadn't previously talked about before on my channel. So I got a couple comments like, WTF, where did that come from? This, I think I started trying out in like mid-November, and it's become like my daily brow routine. I've always been very diehard for Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, but any pomade does require a little bit more like sit down, take your time on your brows work, whereas brow gel is just a great invention for a college student, man. This is the Makeup Revolution Pro Tinted Brow Gel. This gives me the same exact vibes for what the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gel was going for. Dip Brow Gel was advertised as like a brow gel that was supposed to be your only step. You just needed to brush this through your brows and your brows would be completely filled in and held down in place. The problem with Dip Brow for me is that A, it's so pigmented that if you mess up, you're kind of screwed, and B, the brush size does not make sense whatsoever. Like, whose brow is this wide? Hi, sisters! This gives me everything that this was supposed to be. Formula is just as pigmented, but I do feel like you have a little bit more wiggle room with it, where if you do mess up, it's pretty easy to just wipe off and you're not like also wiping away all your foundation. The brush is small and just fluffy enough that you can kind of get that natural like hair stroke brow just by pushing this through your brows. And just overall, this has become like pretty much my daily brow product. I've held a deep, deep grudge against many people in my life, but also the brand Kopari. They went on my shit list a while ago because they are the brand that sells like $30 tubs of coconut oil, basically. That's the only ingredient in their coconut melt. The rest of their line is very oriented around coconut oil as a ingredient, and coconut oil is something I will never ever put on my face because it's very comedogenic and very bad for your skin. I just don't believe in coconut oil in skincare as a whole, and I never really tried anything from their brand. I don't remember quite who it was, but I know it was a YouTuber that I go for dewy recommendations, and she recommended the Kopari coconut oil lip glosses. This is kind of like a balm gloss. I have the shade Pinkini, which is a beautiful bright pink. It does look kind of fluorescent and very pigmented, and it does have this like nice hot pink tint, but this shears out on the lips, not be like super aggressively pink. I just think it gives you a little bit more warmth to the lips. I love this because it gives you the appearance of a lip gloss with the feeling of like a lip balm slash just pure coconut oil on your lips. It also tastes delicious. This kind of reminds me of a combination between a lip balm and a lip oil. It has a little bit of color, it stays glossy throughout the day, but it's not sticky by any means, and I just really like this. I'm gonna apply a little bit right now so you can see how it looks. It's super cute. I love the squeezy tube things that are coming back. This is just so very 2008, my entire childhood, so love this. 3 palettes came to mind when I was planning out this video. These all fell into the category slash description of sneak attack favorites for me last year. Number 1 would have to be the Goddess palette by Alter Ego, simply because I wasn't attracted to the Natasha Denona gold palette and its entire color scheme when it first came out. But I received this palette and I was like, wow, that's beautiful. Not only are the mattes just right at my alley for what I like in neutrals, with a little bit more on the grungier, warm-toned pukey brown side. Shimmers in here, you have some really unique shades like Valkyrie and Cassandra, which look gold in the pan, but they have this kind of green gold duochrome shift that makes them so unique and so pretty on the eyes. This is the only palette that I took on vacation last week, so I was just doing eye looks for about 2 weeks using this palette. I just did not get tired of using this one, so this was a very unexpected favorite because I didn't even think that this color scheme was pretty in the original palette. Dare I say the palette of 2019. Yes, I do dare say that. The Anastasia Beverly Hills and Jackie Aina palette. This I bought because I wanted to support the collaboration itself. I did like the color scheme a lot. I think she did a really great job with it. But because it's kind of like a reloaded neutrals palette, definitely geared towards people of a darker skin tone, I didn't think this was going to be a palette that I would use as often as I do now. I didn't think this would become like an instant classic for me in my collection. I just thought it would be another palette that I added that I would get some looks out of, but it wouldn't be like my favorite thing. This palette can do like neutrals with a pop of color, pure neutrals, pure color. This is just one of the best and most cohesive color schemes I've ever seen. The only palette that came out from Anastasia recently that I feel like has a clear inspiration and just a very well put together color scheme. Formula is as usual on point with this palette, and honestly I feel like we're getting to a point in the makeup community where it's really hard to come out with a palette that's unique at this point because everything has been done. Just last year, where like a lot of releases look the same, I was really happy to see a palette that didn't look like everything else. This is one of my favorite palettes, and even though I've had it for quite a few months, I still get excited to use it, and it's still something that I'm like, I want to use that today. Whereas sometimes for me, the novelty wears off pretty quickly. This has longevity, this has life, this is great. And then an unexpected favorite, if I ever did see one, Lunar Beauty as a brand. Honestly, I'm really glad I decided to give this brand a chance. I was not interested in any of Manny's first releases, and even the Strawberry Dream palette. I did not like this palette when I first saw it on Instagram. I really think that pictures don't do it justice. But when I saw this palette in person, I saw the packaging first of all. That never fails to draw me in. But packaging alone rarely ever gets me to buy a product that I didn't want in the first place. Touching and playing with the formula and seeing how vibrant and uniquely formulated these shades are, that got me really excited to buy this one. So glad I tried this palette out. This was another one of my favorites of 2019. It also got me to try out the Moonspell palette. This was not an unexpected favorite because knowing how like shocked and pleasantly surprised I was with this palette, I was expecting to like this one, and I was very much correct. Taking that leap of faith with the Strawberry Dream palette, that is one of the decisions I do not regret in 2019. But it introduced me to a formula and a brand that I'm very excited to see more from. You guys know I'm a devoted Kaleidos stan. I love my features and palettes. I love my Space Age highlighters. I have not disliked anything that they've come out with. I've only decluttered things from them because I've had similar things. That being said though, they recently did a lip launch where they came out with the Lip Tonic liquid lipsticks and the Lucid lip glosses. They also recently came out with 2 more Lip Tonic lipsticks for Chinese New Year, so these are red and beautiful. And while I always love Kaleidos' releases in particular, I just don't really get excited about lip launches anymore just because I have so many lipsticks I already love and enjoy. I was like, okay, I'll try it out, but I rarely ever get impressed by lip formulas anymore. In particular, I wanted to talk about the Lip Tonic lip glosses. I was wearing one of the shades Fantasize before I put on the Kopari one, so that was the gloss I had on already. Fantasize is a like kind of peachy shade with some gold and pink glitter all throughout. Mesmerize, this one I wasn't expecting to love just because it's like a deep purple and I don't really wear purples on my lips, but it actually shears out to be this nice kind of like mauve toned berry shade, and like a very nice non-sticky gloss, very thin feeling on the lips as well. I live the gloss life, but I hate the like goopy feeling of glosses sometimes. I think the general theme of Kaleidos' lip products are just very thin formulations. They're liquid lipsticks as well, kind of more on the sheer side. They're not a super opaque matte liquid lip, which personally I appreciate. They just have a little bit of buildable color, and that's I think what the glosses are also emulating, just a buildable nice thin finish that gives you that effect but doesn't like feel like When Forthright Beauty, ColourPop's skincare line first came out, I tried a few things. My first dalliance into their brand was not super eventful. The first thing I tried from them was their watermelon face milk and their detox oil, and both were okay, but I didn't feel like they were doing anything super special. So from there, I think I stopped checking for their stuff for a couple months, and I didn't realize, just because ColourPop launches like crazy, in that span of a couple months, they went from having like 5 products to like
an entire skincare line.
So I decided to give them a second chance. So glad that I did. That's another theme of this video. So glad I gave these brands second chances. And I found one of my favorite serums, affordable or otherwise. This is the Forthright Beauty Radiates Vitamin C Elixir. It's a bi-phase serum and oil. I use this in the morning every single day, right after toner and right before moisturizer. So you just kind of shake it to mix up the oil and the serum itself, squeeze a little into your hands, and then I just kind of like press it all over my face. It's helped so much. I was previously using the Drunk Elephant Vitamin C serum, and that was so potent. I felt like it was doing a good job of getting rid of my dark spots, but it also making me very sensitive, and my skin was like drying out, kind of peeling. Just not a good time. This is also a very potent formula, but it's gentle too, and I think the biphase serum and oil part of it, I think the oil part of the biphase serum makes it just a really kind of like gently delivers those active ingredients while also keeping my skin more protected than it would be if I was just going in with straight L-ascorbic acid. It's also $15, one of the best quality serums I've ever tried. I've been trying out a lot more things from them and loving a lot more things from them. So if you want to see like more of Forthright Beauty on my channel, let me know. I'll share some of the other things I've tried from them, but so far this has been my favorite from their skincare line. Sigma is a brand kind of like Smashbox that I forget exists. They were definitely like a very OG makeup YouTube brand. I think once Morphe started getting big, they were kind of phased out of the spotlight, especially because their brushes were a lot more expensive. But I think their makeup line is very slept on, and my favorite product, Porta Rosa Aura Face Powder Blush, was not something I was expecting to like. This is perfection. Right behind Essence Satin Touch, this is my favorite blush in my collection. It is the most beautiful smooth formula. Kind of reminds me of the Patrick Ta blushes. I'm almost hitting pan. Wow.
Wow.
But it's technically matte. It doesn't have any shimmer throughout it, but it has a little bit of like a radiant finish to it on the skin, where it doesn't look flat and matte. It just has a little bit of like a sheen, even though there's no shimmer in it. Weird, but you gotta take my word for it. Porta Rosa is such a beautiful shade. I think the blush formula in general is just really good. This is a favorite. I don't know how I got my hands on this one. Either it was sent to me or it was a gift. It's not something I would have picked up on my own, but I love that I have this one, and it's definitely a blush that I would repurchase a million times over. This was an unexpected fave because I haven't been loving setting powders at all this year. Another product from Makeup Revolution Pro though, this is the Hydra Matte Translucent Setting Powder. It's a very fine texture powder, like almost feels like nothing between the fingers. It's super finely milled, and it's infused with hyaluronic acid, so it's supposed to be a little bit more hydrating for your skin. Generally, I think that skincare benefits in like setting powders, which are going on the topmost layer on your face, I think they're kind of gimmicky and don't really do anything because it's not really going to penetrate through layers of makeup. I was interested in this though for my under eyes, just because I feel like my under eyes can get very dry. Anything that was more finely milled and also claiming to be a hydrating powder, I was very interested in trying out. This is so good. I hate the packaging honestly though, because the net packaging is supposed to keep the powder in, but obviously it's not working out, so this does billow up every time I open it. It's such a nice thin texture, does not feel like I have anything. I just do a little bit of this on the under eyes and then a tiny bit in my smile lines as well. Sometimes in my Grand Canyon forehead wrinkle that has been reoccurring throughout the entire quarter of school. Love that for me.
Why y'all got to lie?
But it's such a fine texture, it doesn't feel like I put anything thick on my face, which I feel like the Laura Mercier powder feels thick with 2 C's. Thick with a Q. She thick. She's not thick. In my opinion, this is basically like a non-tinted version of the Glossier Wowder. Once again, was not expecting to love any new lip formulas this year. I was intrigued and interested to try out the ColourPop Luxe Liquid Lip, basically a liquid version of the Luxe lipsticks, which are kind of like a more creamy bullet lipstick formula. And this is from the Disney Designer Collection as well in the shade Beast. It's my favorite lipstick now. Basically. Very nice, subtle rose pink shade. I almost don't want to swatch it because I know this is limited edition and it's not coming back. Right in between the Ultra Satin Lip formula and the Ultra Blotted Lip, so it's kind of sheer but also hydrating. It looks so good with every eye look. I wanted to wear it today, but I was like, no, don't wear the same lipstick. You've worn this like 7 times in different videos in the past month. So yeah, that's this lipstick. It's beautiful. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know why I didn't try this earlier. I've kind of made it a mini rule with myself to not buy makeup at TJ Maxx anymore, just because I generally go there and I buy things I didn't even want in the first place, but because it's at a good price, I buy it. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow was something I always wanted, but never had the motivation to go pick up. So I was like, that looks like something I would really enjoy. It was supposed to be a very nice, blinding, glowy, wet looking highlight on your face, and it's ABH, so I always really like their glow products. That being said though, I never bought it at Sephora. I was just going to TJ Maxx for one thing, a new yoga mat. And I was like, oh, look in the beauty section, it's fine. I had only one left in Perla, the rest were in the shade Bronze, which was too dark for me. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. It was like $15. Honestly, I would buy this at full price. I would. If you can still find it at TJ Maxx, I would say get it because it's definitely worth $15, but I would buy this at full price. Just like my Glossier Liquid Night Shine in the shade Pale Pearl, just shears out so nicely, no glitter particles in it whatsoever. It's just this beautiful, wet looking sheen on the face. This blends really well with foundation as well. So this, I don't know why I didn't try this sooner. Very unexpected favorite. Again, kind of like Sigma, pure. I just forget about them sometimes. Their launches I feel don't really get a lot of hype, but I know I'm not alone in loving this highlighter because Smoky Glow also likes this one. This is the Pure Afterglow highlighter. I'm not exactly sure how I obtained this one. I'm pretty sure it was sent to me by Pure. It looks like a basic like champagne-y gold highlighter shade in the pan. I don't know. Blinding, but not aggressive, not like icy or anything. It just looks so nice and glowy on the face. Also, kind of smells like vanilla. Take that as you will. I don't know if that's a positive or negative for you. For me, big positive. Big positive. Not something I expected to like, just on appearance it looked pretty boring, but then I put it on my face and I was like, wow, okay. Final shout out I want to give was to this brush. This is from Kaleidos. It's their H1 highlighting brush and it came with the Space Age highlighters. The past like 2 years I've used the same highlighting brush. It's the, I don't know, it's from Morphe, I'll flash it on screen. But I've used that one, it's been fine, it's been holding up through washes. I haven't really needed anything else, it just has the perfect shape. This one came, and it's not the shape I usually use. I normally use things that are more like fluffy and have a little bit of a taper to them. This one is a little bit more of like an oval shape, so it doesn't have that perfect taper to it, but it's a little bit fluffy. This I like to use with more blinding highlights to get them to blend out nicely and not look too aggressive. So I feel like a fluffier brush can apply any type of like more subtle to beaming highlight to a nice like beautiful glaze. This can help you kind of like buff out the glittery particles or any type of super blinding highlighter to where it looks slightly more natural on your skin. So I like this one with colorful highlighters, but also I used it today for the Hourglass, those like limited edition metallic highlighters. Those are very, very blinding and normally they're too icy for me, but I feel like they were able to blend out to a nice diffusion that looks just really beautiful. So this brush, huge unexpected favorite. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed my little unexpected favorites video. Thank you so much again to Abby for collaborating. Love you with my whole heart. Thank you for being my friend. Please go and watch her video if you haven't already. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below and also follow me on Instagram to see makeup looks like this posted. Yeah, and if you made it to the very end of this video, you strawberry dreams, you get the bonus beam. Love you. Bye.